Okay, I think we are live. Hello, it is Sorsha. Testing out my software, seeing if I can actually go live to YouTube. Okay, I can see people in the chat. That's good. Hello, Cornelius. Well, I cannot see myself. Can you guys see me and hear me okay? Leave a comment if you can see me and hear me okay. Okay, excellent. Yeah, I've been tinkering around with new software, so sometimes it takes a little trial and error to get the gist of it. So I was hopping on today because I made a post a few days ago about the notion of buying an RV, going cross country, and taking Magic on the road. It's something that I've thought about doing for a long time. As a lot of you who know me know that I love to travel, know that I love spending time with people in person, especially magical people. Now, over the last few years, I've had the opportunity to travel and meet people, sometimes live with people, um, and just spend time doing magic in person. I feel like there's no substitute for that. I think that, we get so caught up, in these groups on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We have friends all over the world. Most of us are pretty spread out. But I think for those inclined to meet up together, it's a really special opportunity to be able to spend time in person, particularly for magical people. Um, hey, Nina, good to see you too. Um, so, yeah, a few days ago, I wrote some of my thoughts on RV living, or rather, I shared a GoFundMe. Um, it's nothing to worry about too incredibly much. I'm not going to be annoying and spam it in every group. It's just there for anybody who is interested in learning about it and donating if they want to. Awesome. If not, no worries. Um, I have ways to gather funds regardless. I just put that out there um, as a secondary way for people to donate if they're interested. Um, but the bigger idea that I have is for, you know, encouraging people to be able to do magic wherever they are, whether they're at home or on the road. Now, magicians usually do that anyway, but over the years, I've heard a lot of people talking about wanting to spend time in person, do magic, and extending beyond things like Burning Man or like conferences. I mean, those are all fun, but those are usually like yearly events, every few years events. I'm talking about being able to just go out on the road, find a way to do it. Now, for most people don't necessarily have RVs, and RVs, as we know, can be expensive, particularly if you're looking at gas prices nowadays. Gas is not cheap for a number of reasons. But I've been doing a lot of research, and I want to encourage anybody on the magical path that there are ways to do it to fit any budget. If you look on Craigslist, I'd stay away from Facebook Marketplace when it comes to RVs. There's a lot of scammers, it's too dodgy. So I would suggest either finding a local RV dealer or hitting Craigslist for dealers or private party, but you really have to vet people and be careful. There are a lot of scammers out there, as I've seen and found for myself. Um, so other than the cost of gas and groceries and things that you'd need to travel, there's always the question of where to park an RV. Now, there's always several options. There are RV parks, there are like KOA campgrounds, national parks, state parks. Some of these places you can camp for free. Some of them you can There might be a 2-week time limit. Some places you can stay for a few months for free. Some places, you get a yearly pass and you can stay in any park in the country, depending on the pass you get, if you go that route. There's also something that I learned about recently. A friend told me about becoming a park host. And that's where you park your RV, usually at a campground, and in exchange for being able to hook up and have a little RV pad to rent out, you might do some chores. You might pick up trash, you might clean the bathrooms, you might tidy up the campsite. So for a lot of magicians, a lot of us dream about, being able to do magic full time. Well, most people still have rent or mortgages to pay. People have bills to pay. So the trick then becomes to look for ways to live within whatever means you find yourself in. For me, I'm planning on keeping a full-time residence in Oregon. I like Oregon. It's my home state. But I think being able to take long-term trips around the country would be awesome. It would be beneficial. Of course, for myself, it's something I've always wanted to do, but being able to spend time in person with people, doing workshops, doing boot camps, just spending time sometimes. That's always called to me. That's always appealed to me. And I think I found a way to do it. I think being able to pick up different park host gigs, I could park someplace geographically, and when I'm in your state, when I'm not busy tidying up places, I could be doing workshops. I could be spending time. That is one solution that I have found for myself and other interested magicians, to be able to travel full time if wanted, and to be able to live on the go, work on the go, and do magic on the go. It's a practical way to do it. And when we're talking about magic, we need practical magic. I think being able to really force people to narrow down your needs and your live without, because when you're in an RV, you have limited space. So you can't just take a whole household full of things. I think it would really force people to rely on themselves more and their tools less, because tools are just props. They are just a way to focus the will of the magician. Let's see. Well, for some reason, my streaming service is not coming through that great. I'm getting notifications saying that it's interrupted. So, okay, for those of you in the chat, can you still see me and hear me? Give me a thumbs up, or say live and visible. Hello, Kita. I see you. Well, I'll just trust that I'm still live, I guess. I guess I'll find out when I end it. So, as I was saying, being able to connect, meet up, spend time with people, to me, that's priceless. Each time that I've spent time with people in the magical community around the country, I've learned a lot, I've grown a lot, and I like to think that the feeling was mutual. Since I made my post a few days ago, other people have kind of stepped up and also expressed interest in maybe looking at RVs for themselves. And I think it's a great idea. I mean, can you guys imagine if, enough magicians that got into RVing and just being able to see the country, whether we were traveling together or not, I think it would be kind of fun to potentially roam around the country together, a black magic caravan. We could have a black magic Burning Man. I think that there's a lot of potential there. I think a lot of fun things could come from it. If it's something that appeals to you guys, let me know. Shout it out in the comments. Interact with me on Facebook. Let me know what you think. It's something that I plan to do regardless of interest because I love to travel. I love to see the country. I like to go at my own pace. I love to be able to, if I want to sleep in, not have to worry about checking out of hotels at 10 or 11 a.m. You know, I like just to be pretty much beholden to my own schedule, um, and my own route. And sometimes that's challenging if one is traveling, by plane, or even in a car, because it's nice to have the means to be able to cook, to clean, to sleep, right with you. You can go anywhere and be anywhere. Anything can be your front yard, wherever you decide to be, and pull up for a while. So that idea definitely appeals to me. It appeals to my gypsy spirit, and I know that it probably appeals to more than a few of you guys. Okay, thank you guys for letting me know. Yeah, for some reason, whenever I try live streaming, it's always laggy. There's always buffering. There's always technical fuckery to deal with. That's why I rarely do lives. I usually just record them and then upload them. But I enjoy being able to interact with people in the comments. So we will deal with the tech issues the best that we can. And sometimes it's fun just to come on and hang out. I don't do it nearly enough. But in any case, I'm going to keep this one short. So thank you guys for tuning in. For those of you inclined, check out my GoFundMe on Facebook, share it around, like I said, I'm not relying on that as my primary way of funding this little adventure. That's kind of more of a secondary thing. I have money that I'm already saving, but putting it out there doesn't hurt. So anyhow, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.